everyone, me again. I've got another foundation review for you today, and today I wanted to talk about the Revolution Fast Base Foundation Stick. Now I know that everyone in the world and their mum has done a review on this foundation already. I know that it's been everywhere, but I just wanted to jump on and kind of have my say about it as well. I recently took this on a holiday with me to Edinburgh and I wore it quite a lot while I was there, so I just wanted to let you know how I've been getting on with it. So let's start off with the packaging. It's a really nice kind of flesh coloured packaging. It does kind of mark quite easily. I've just noticed that on mine because I've had mine in my makeup bag and it's been kicked about a bit. It does have a few marks on it, but it's not too bad. I really like the kind of rose gold design as well. This foundation is £5, which is very, very reasonable, and it comes in, I think, 18 different shades. I have the palest one, which is F1. If you're ever wondering which foundation shade I've gone for, it's usually the palest one, but I am really genuinely impressed with the amount of shades that they've released, not only in this foundation, but obviously their other ones and their concealers as well. I think it's really amazing that they have such a good variety of skin tones. Yes, they might not have every single shade just yet, but for a company who are relatively new, I think it's very impressive, especially when you compare the range in this foundation to something like the Bourjois foundations. Usually they have about 5 different shades and they're all a very similar kind of Caucasian tan kind of colour. So when you compare that to this is amazing. So like I said, I've got the palest one in the range, which is F1, but you can easily get ones that are a few shades up if you wanted to do some kind of contouring, bronzing, sculpting. I did consider getting a darker one of these to contour with, but I couldn't find one that was quite cool toned enough, because for me, I really need something that is a little bit grey to sort of contour with, so I couldn't find something that was quite right. But if you've got one of these that you contour with, please let me know in the comments which shade you use and if you think it works, because I would really like to try doing that. So I did film a bit of the application process as well, just so that you can see how it goes on and how I like to apply this. So just for reference, if you're new around here, I have very dry skin and it has quite a bit of pigmentation to it. At the moment, it's very warm in the UK. We're definitely heading into the height of summer right now, and because of that, I'm basically permanently flushed. You know, I'm ginger, I get red very, very easily. So not only that, but it's also been quite humid over here as well, and when I went to Edinburgh, it was actually about 99% humidity. So because of that, I have been teaming this with the L'Oreal Infallible Mattifying Primer. I find that this is the only primer that kind of keeps everything in place during times of humidity. And then applying this foundation stick is so easy. I just twist it up and sort of start drawing over the areas of my face that I just think are looking very pigmented, and then I get the buffing brush of my choice and just sort of slap it on. I'm the sort of person who usually spends about 10 minutes applying their foundation and just making everything look really even and blending everything in and trying to cover the redness. But with this foundation, I have been just chucking it on and then buffing everything in with a brush, and that's it. You know, I'm kind of good to go. Obviously the coverage can vary, so you can just put a little bit on and you'll get a nice sheer light bit of coverage to it in no time at all. I did that quite a lot while I was on holiday and I really liked the effect that it gave. Today, just for filming this review, I did build it up a little bit more. I like to have a bit more of a full coverage when I'm sat down in front of a camera, so that's what I went for today. So I would just buff on one layer and then I would just draw over the bits where redness was still showing, and then I would buff it in a bit more. I would say if you want to build this up, then definitely use a damp sponge instead of a brush. I do really like using a brush with this foundation stick because it's obviously a very quick, speedy process and I don't have to go down to the bathroom and dampen my beauty sponge. But if you do want to build this up and make it look the best it can possibly look, definitely get a sponge when you're building on beyond your second layer. Otherwise, that's when things can start to it will look like you've got makeup on, if you see what I mean. So yeah, definitely work in kind of light layers. Just keep building it up until you get the sort of effect that you want. If you try to like put a load on in one go and then sort of buff everything in, that's when it might look like a little bit cakey. Not too cakey because it's more dewy than matte, but you know what I mean. The finish of this product is absolutely beautiful. It is so glowy and radiant and dewy, but again, I will mention that I have dry skin, so I really love a kind of radiant dewy product. I don't think this would be suitable for people on the oilier side of things. I would definitely recommend it for dry skin or even mature skin actually, because I just really like the kind of glowy effect that it gives, and it has really decent coverage as well. So if you're like me and you have dry skin that's prone to quite a lot of pigmentation and redness, and you want something that will look really nice but that won't take too long for an everyday product, this could be a real game changer for you. The only downside to this foundation that I've personally come across is that it's definitely not the most long lasting, but it's not really designed to be, and it doesn't make any claims that it will last all day, so that's not a huge concern. To survive the humidity that we're getting over here at the moment, I have been setting everything with the, where is it? Hang on. So I've been taking a few extra steps just to make it a little bit more humidity proof. I set everything into place with the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. I used the shade 001 Transparent. And then once I've finished my whole face, I go in with the Maybelline Superstay Setting Spray. And I find that just adding these two products on top of the foundation has just kept everything kind of staying where it's supposed to be. And even when I was in Edinburgh, even when it was super humid, I won't say things didn't get dewy or a little bit shiny, because they definitely did, but it stopped it looking really bad. It stopped me looking like an oil slick when I added these two extra steps. So if you're not someone who usually would set their face or someone who would usually use a setting spray, I don't know how well you would get on with this foundation. It's definitely not transfer proof on its own, like it doesn't kind of dry down. Like if you don't set it and then you touch your face a while later, it will kind of come off on your fingertips. So that's just something to keep in mind. Personally, I don't mind taking these two extra steps because this is something that I do all the time anyway. Plus I'll have saved so much time using this foundation stick because it's so easy to apply that I definitely have time to use the setting spray. So who do I think will really like this product? I think people who are in a hurry, who don't have a lot of time to get ready, are going to absolutely love this. I think if you're going to go on holiday, this is really handy. You don't have to worry about it spilling and leaking in your makeup bag. I absolutely loved this for traveling. If you have dry skin or mature skin, you're going to really get on with this. I've been using this so much recently, definitely when I was on holiday and since I've got back as well, because it is just so quick to put on. It's perfect for an everyday foundation and I really love it for that. I really love the finish, I really love the affordable price tag, I really love the shade selection. I think everyone is going to find a shade that works for them. I really like how pigmented the product is. I think you can get away with just using a really small amount of this on an everyday basis and you'll be really happy with the outcome. Perhaps people with an oilier skin type won't get on with this quite so much, unfortunately. People who want a really long lasting foundation will not be happy with this one either. If you want something that lasts for a really long time, maybe have a look at the Rimmel Lasting Finish foundation. I've done a review of that on this channel as well. It's only a few pounds more and it's definitely a lot better if you want something that will stay quite comfortable to wear during the day and doesn't break down. But yeah, all in all, I am really happy with this. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a wear test today. It's not going to be a very long wear test because it's already 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Plus this room is kind of like a sauna, so I kind of feel like it will accelerate the foundation sort of deterioration process anyway. But I will still jump on in a few hours and just let you know how it's looking after that. Hey everyone, me again. So it's a little bit later in the day now. It is about 9:15. So the foundation has been on nearly 5 hours now. So I'm just at my boyfriend's house at the moment. He's just kind of sat over there wondering what the hell I'm doing, talking to myself in front of a camera. What do you think of my foundation, honey?
Oh, it has immense depth. It has a lot of form.
Do you know what foundation is?
Yes.
Anyway, so as you can see, the foundation isn't like perfect, but it's not that bad considering how warm it was when I was filming earlier. I only managed to get one video done. I was hoping to do a couple more than that, but Oh my god, my studio is literally a sauna. It was impossible. But it's much cooler here at Tom's house, which I think is why it's kind of lasted a little bit better since I got here. But that being said, it's definitely not like transfer proof or anything. It's definitely not summer proof, it's not sweat proof or anything like that. It doesn't claim to be, but hopefully you can see that it still kind of looks okay, in my opinion. There's definitely, that's Tom's cats in the background if you can hear that. There's definitely bits where you can see that it's worn away, especially over spots where I had to build it up a bit, but it's not too bad. I would still happily go to the shops like this or something like that. Hello, you've been fed? Anyway, that's about it for this review. I think that's everything that I wanted to say. I hope that you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if I've missed anything, and subscribe if you're new around here. I upload new videos every week, sometimes twice a week if I can get my act together. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!